Hey everybody, it's Ravenflower back again for yet another Truth Talk. Today we are talking with Honey Owlet Moon, and I have rescheduled with you, I don't know how many damn different times because life has been crazy. So I thank you so much for being patient with me and making sure that I could get you back on here. So I'm so happy to have you. And Honey Owlet Moon is from Alaska. So, which is very intriguing to me because I know you to also be a belly dancer. So please tell me things. Please introduce yourself and welcome to Truth Talk.
Hi. Oh, okay. So, yeah, I'm a belly dancer. I've been, well, first an Alaskan. I've been born and raised here in Alaska in the interior. My whole life, pretty much out in the boonies. I was born in Fairbanks, but then I kind of lived out in the boonies. And yeah, I started dancing in fall of 2006. And
wow.
then fall of 2006, and I've been dancing ever since. I joined a dance troupe in 2010. How I remember that is because that's how old my son is. I was like, when did I start the troupe? When I started dancing with the troupe?
I know, I do the same thing. I'm like, Casper was in 3rd grade. That would make him, yeah.
Sort of like weighing time that way. So I've been dancing with Tundra Caravan up here, and right now I'm actually the longest standing member of Tundra Caravan.
Wow.
Yep, director and treasurer. So it's a lot of fun, and it's my passion. I love to dance. It's the one thing I feel like I'm good at, like really good at. I mean, I can say that I'm a person who knows a little about a lot of things. But dance, I can actually say I know a lot more than anything else in my life, really. It's definitely my passion.
Dance is like your superpower.
Yes, it really is. And then when I realized that I can incorporate that into my craft, it was just like a whole new level of appreciation and words. And lots of words, appreciation and just awareness about myself, kind of like shadow work in a way. I've learned a lot of things.
I like that. What brought you to dance? What brought you to be a belly dancer? Or how did you start out? I know that was back in, you said 2006.
Well, we have this place called Pioneer Park. It's called Alaska Land.
Alaska Land, I love it.
Alaska Land. So, so you ever up here and you hear a lot of people say Alaska Land, they're old school. Like, people just don't want to say Pioneer Park, which, I understand. So for me, I know either or. Anyways, when I was there one summer, I actually saw them perform Tundra Caravan because they formed in 2001. And so when I saw them, I was like, that's what I want to do. Like, I knew I always wanted to perform, but I had a hard time. And this is something that really still baffles me about myself. I don't mind being seen, but being heard is really hard for me. And how I realized, first time I realized that was when I was in a band, not a band, like school band. Like, I had a really hard time playing in front of people. Like, I could play in front of myself and maybe my close friends, but in front of people, nope, it was difficult.
Really?
And that's the reason that, yeah, that's the reason why I now I ever since then, ever since I realized I had a hard time being heard, I tried putting myself in positions to be heard, even though it made me like want to like crawl inside myself.
Oh.
Like I went to girls' state and I tried debating. That was horrible. I made some good friends though, but I could not debate.
Debating rough. That's rough. I did that for a hot minute, and really is just because I had a whole lot of sass, and I thought that would be the place for me. But then I had to organize my thoughts, and I'm like, wait a minute, no, that's not for me.
Well, I had a hard time because I'm like, I'm worried about these bullet points because I'll go to look at something, which I did at that debate, looking at my bullet points or my notes. And when I looked at them, all the words and lines just go, and I was like, nope, that didn't help me. I don't know.
Nope.
So, as I tangent, if I roll it back, where was I? I was, so speaking, being heard.
Which is interesting. You said that it's hard for like you being heard or being vocal is difficult for you, but you have a YouTube channel.
I know. And that's why I did it. That's one reason why I did it is to put myself in that position to be vulnerable and to hurt and like to share what I know, especially about dance. I do have a Shimmy Witch series, so that was fun. That was the easiest thing I've done on my channel.
That was good. I remember the little, I mean, the basics of the shimmy. I pay attention sometimes.
Posture is important. A good foundation, good roots, and that's another thing. I use a lot of visualization and connections with the earth and elements and stuff with my dance. So as far as posture go, if you think of yourself as a nice strong tree, like a nice strong oak, and you have these huge, you stretch out your toes and you wiggle your toes in the ground, and you spread your roots, a nice strong foundation, but also very flexible. So that's why you need to have soft knees. You don't want to be too straight.
Okay.
And hurt yourself, things like that. So I can go through the whole thing. Postures. We can do shimmies on here if you want. I have no problem with that.
Like, where do you feel comfortable? You're so cute. Tell me more how you incorporate dance into your practice. So being a witch, and then just the fact that you're in Alaska already blows my mind. And I'm like, how cold is it there right now? I'm sure you have like tons of snow.
We are actually getting a lot more snow. Like before, like right around Thanksgiving, it like dumped a lot of snow. I mean, dumped a couple feet. And then we had nothing for like November, December, January, like the end of January, I think. Beginning of February, we started getting snow again, dusting. But it would dust all day, and like it accumulated a lot. So, but this whole winter has been so warm. Like below freights, you guys got all of it. Like you guys got all the cold. I mean, for Alaska, like we would be in 40 below, 50 below for weeks right now.
And that's not the case.
We're at 1 degree right now, so it's like t-shirt. It's warm. But then we'll flip-flop. We'll go 20 below, and then the next week or that weekend it'll be like 20 above. And then like sometimes you just can't really trust the news. Like as far as the weather, Alaska is just like, we'll do what we want, You just hope for good weather, and so you can go play in the snow.
Then you go play in the snow. Exactly. Then you go play in the snow.
If you need Alaska, like I don't mind the cold as long as I have snow to play in.
So you've always lived in Alaska, and I'm wondering how, I guess, you came into the craft. So you told us how you got into to dance, but
Mhm.
how did you come into the craft being, I mean, it was, I'm trying to think, like I'm feeling like an Inuit Indian has, taken you by their hand and said, "Hey," like, "Hey, there's a whole other way to do things." How does it happen? How does it happen for you in Alaska? You don't go anywhere, do much of anything up there. You got the outdoors, so I guess you must have been connected to Earth
Oh,
from
for
the
sure.
get-go.
For
Yeah.
sure. If there's anything I do remember from my childhood, which I don't remember much before like the age of 9 or 10,
Uh-huh.
which is really sad, but that's okay. What I do remember is we went on so many adventures, a lot of camping, lots of camping and fishing and boat rides on the river, just a lot of outdoor stuff. My whole childhood. And again, I lived in the boonies, so like you could just walk out your front door, jump on your snow machine and ride all day. So like that was my childhood. Like
Wow.
yeah. Mm.
That seems magical in itself.
It is. Oh man, I used to lay down in the Salter River and just float down the river. Like
Oh, wow.
because I mean it would be shallow and then it gets deep, so you don't want to go over the deep
Right.
section. But
Right.
because you might
You
die.
come across a bear and cubs, and you're like, "Oh, hi."
And yeah, I mean I would do that. I would spend all day outside just playing. And I was like, "Oh, mom." I asked my mom once. I was like, "How do you do it? How did you let me go out at, age, 8 and 9 and be outside and go in the, ride the trails all day and go, just be free?" And she's like, "Well, I drank a lot." Okay.
Okey-doke.
I knew that. But I guess
That's
that
funny.
it's funny, but it's also kind of sad because, um, well, because, drinking a lot just to make sure you don't have anything else to worry about. Because I
Speaking
worry
of
about my
drinking,
kids. I'm like, I don't know if I want you going around. Like, because now I'm just worried about people. I
yeah,
don't
worry about
think
people. We live in different times than when we grew up. I mean, totally different times. Speaking of drinking, Jasmine wants to know what we all are drinking, and I will say that I am drinking Ginger Ale Zero, Canada Dry, and then I have double bergamot, and I say bergamot, not bergamot, because I feel everything should be French. So bergamot Earl Grey is what I'm drinking.
Like a citrus seltzer water
Oh, okay, nice. So that's kind of what I'm doing over here
with
with
cut
you.
up limes.
With limes?
Mm-hmm.
I love a lime.
I cut up my lime because I have to clean my copper jewelry.
Ah, smart.
Lime juice and some salt, mix it. And,
Yeah,
here,
that will
here.
that will definitely do the trick.
Oh yeah. Oh, I think I got kicked out.
Looked out. You're here.
Well, no, I'm here. I'm here, but like, as far as looking at.
Oh, it on YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
Oh no, I'm here. Whoa.
That happens to a lot of people.
Oh, hey, Jen. Jennifer Knighton. Hello.
Yep. There's a bunch of people here. And Draven's like, I needed a bit of caffeine to catch this one. I know it's a little later. It's a little later. And actually, it's 8 o'clock here, my time. and I'm in Washington State, but since you're in Alaska and over a little bit, you're 1 hour before me, so it's only like 7 something for you, right?
Yep, it's 7:15.
7:15. There it is. And see, now my screen froze up here with me with my hand in my face like this. So now I can't see anything up there, but I got to keep looking up here because that's where the feed is coming through. So now I'm going to look down here at my, all you're going to see is the top of my head like this. This is what's going to happen to y'all. And I don't know how to even get that thing back. Let me see if I can get that back out. No, wait, where'd you go? Somehow I took you out. Add to the stream. Oh, there you are. Okay. Sorry. Technical difficulty.
I'm lagging on here, but that's okay.
You're lagging?
Just on my phone.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. Especially you're in a room. Yeah, more people are coming into the chat. Oh, hello, people. Hello, hello. What did I want to? I wanted to ask you something. Okay, so you were coming down for the witchy meet and greet that I was supposed to have done in 2020, and then COVID, and then COVID, and then COVID, and I was still going to be like, oh, it's just going to be an East Coast thing, and everything's going to be fine, and then no, and then COVID said no, we're going to keep this going for a very long time. But I was so excited that there was you, there was Wendy, there were other people from all over the country that was coming. And I'm like, oh my gosh, when is this going to happen again? And then when I had to cancel, it just broke my heart because I really, really, really wanted to meet you in person. And I really wanted to give you a great big hug and say hello. I feel you from up there, sister. I feel you.
Me too. I was so sad. I was so sad. I was really looking forward to it. I mean, I don't get out of the state much, actually, at all. The last time I was out, it was for an emergency, but like this is something I had planned. I had everything written down. I was so excited. I had plans. We had plans.
So many plans. We had so many plans. I just yesterday I was redoing my office here, and I got like a big old file cabinet so that not everything has to be all over on the desk, but I'm like putting things away, and then I'm filing things away, and then I'm just like, and there's the tickets and all the tickets that everybody had bought that I was just at that point to like, there was the deadline for payment, and then and then I had to reimburse everybody. It was just like, it was just awful. And like, I don't know if that happened during a retrograde or not. I should go back and look, but it would probably be my luck. Why I plan things and like I went big and like, I don't know. We're gonna do something. It'll be grand, but now I don't know. Everybody's talking about New Orleans.
I'd love to come and perform if I could.
Yes. Oh, that would be so awesome. So awesome. Oh gosh. God, I was going to ask you something, and now it just totally left me, and I'm so sorry. I guess I was going to ask you about coming down to the lower 40. Like so you said that you have never or hardly ever have come down yonder.
Yep. Not since I was a teenager.
Since you're a teenager, what brought you down here?
Well, actually, the last time I went down was I was actually in my early 20s, and that was for an emergency. I think I can talk about this. It's about my husband, but it's not like, he'll be fine. He had when he was younger, he had a ear surgery, him and his brother, because they were twins. And they had to remove like a bone in there or something. I don't know the technicalities of it, but anyways, he's not supposed to be getting water in his ear. He's supposed to be plugging his ear when he takes the shower and all that. And they told him that when he was, younger, and he just didn't care. He's like, I'll be fine. Well, he can't get an ear infection because that's life-threatening for him. So we had to fly down to Seattle and get that taken care of. So it was Yeah, that scared both of us because he almost died because of that ear infection.
Oh,
Um,
I'm sorry to
yeah,
hear that. That's awful.
yeah, so I get on him now. I get on
I
to
would
go get
imagine
it
you would.
checked out and cleaned out and make sure he's really good about keeping water out of it now. But yeah, and then before that, I think it was 15 the last
Uh-huh.
time I went down, which was fun and interesting. I went down with my dad and my biological dad, and we had fun because I visited my cousin and my aunt and got to see my grandma Honey. Uh, they call her Honey.
They call her Honey. Is that part of it why you chose your name?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cute. So cute.
Oh, she's just such a sweet person. She was always very creative, and I just felt like a connection with her. So that's
Well,
why
it's Honey.
and
Her
Honey
name
is
is
just
Honey. How can you not be sweet?
actually they called her Grandma Honey, but her real name was Pippa Rose.
Pepper Rose. Oh my gosh, my heart.
That's her name.
That's so sweet.
So I did get to visit with her and talk to her and my cousin and all that, and I did learn how to drive a stick shift when I was down there. And not the best situation. I'm laughing. It's not funny.
I feel silly about this. I tried so hard to drive a stick. Oh God, I was in my early 20s.
Mhm.
Oh, maybe I was just at 20, like 19 and 20. And I remember going into an intersection and I'm like, did I do it right? And all the guys in the car were like, like, no, I think you left your transmission back there. I was
Were you in
like,
That's always fun when you have to come to a stop sign and you're sitting like this. You're like, don't get too close to me. I'm rolling.
I'm rolling. I'm rolling. Do not come up on my butt. Nope.
Anyway, so okay, it was like pitch black, and my dad was shit faced, and he was driving, and I had to like get him to pull over because I was like, I'm gonna drive, and I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna figure it out. So we're out. I think a rural area. I was not in the city, so yay for me.
For you. Yeah.
So I had to figure out how to drive. And every time we came to a stop sign, I'd like hit him to wake him up. Tell me which way to go.
Oh my gosh.
I figured out how to drive stick shift.
You know what? Trial by fire. Trial by fire. Do you still drive a stick? Or do you like say no more?
Actually, I did have a stick for a while.
Yeah.
It was like a little Suzuki. I don't remember what it was. But now I drive a Subaru wagon.
Subaru wagon.
Yeah, I love it. It's like my third one.
You know what? People really like their Subaru wagons, especially down around here. Boy, they just, they haul everything in them. They just love them. They just absolutely love them.
They can get places too. When you're going camping, they can get places.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
It's fun. Plus, you can fit, your kids and like all your camping gear back there. I got a rack on top. I can throw my fold-a-boat up there.
Fold-a-boat.
Yeah, it's like a kind of like a canoe, but it like folds.
Really?
Yeah,
I have a neighbor with an inflatable canoe, and I watch them, and I'm like, y'all are brave. Y'all are like real brave. I've seen the size of those sea lions out there, and I'm just like,
Ooh.
Okay, inflatable. I'm like, no, give me a strong steel hull.
Oh yeah, what on the ocean? So on the ocean. Ooh, yeah, that is brave.
Inflatable. And I'm like, are you going out of the bay? Well, no, I just gotta go like set my crab pots. And I'm like, who is this guy? He's like in his 60s. I'm like, no. I'm like, and so I watch him from my office just to make sure that he goes out and he comes back in. I'm like, okay, he's coming in. All right, good to know. I'm like, I feel
Yeah,
like I need to
I
call his
don't know if
wife.
he's telling anybody he's going out, so keep an eye on him.
I
Like,
know,
good for him.
seriously.
Good for him that he has you keep an eye on him.
Poor guy. But I mean, I don't know. That's just a thing here. I do feel that something about the cold is preserving these old people, which is why I've moved here. They don't act like they're 60, they're 80 or whatever. You wouldn't even know. They all look like they're in their 50s, late 50s ish. You wouldn't know. Something about the cold preserves them.
Yeah, I'd like to hope so.
I'd like to hope so. Big time, big time.
All I know is like I would just I wouldn't be able to survive the heat. I'm definitely an Alaskan baby. I'm very heat sensitive, so
Mhm.
yeah.
That's a thing. That's a thing. I actually, I don't know how I survived in Texas as long as I did. Um, but I was, when Bear, when people ask, like, well, why'd you guys move from Texas? He says, we're heat refugees. And it's true, we are, because I used to go from air conditioned house to air conditioned car to air conditioned store or work and then back. And the flux, I think, of the temperature would mess with my sinuses as well as all of the allergies that there were in Texas. Oh, the pollen. And it's just like I wasn't living. I wasn't living. Things are, real affordable housing, cheap food, all that other stuff. But I couldn't go outside and be in the garden the way I wanted to, or just take a walk with my dog. When I get too hot, I just get sick. Like I can't.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
I get that way sometimes even here. It's like it's like 80 outside.
Yeah, that's hot. That's hot for Alaska. Well, it's hot for here too. Yep. Yep. Although when I first came to the island and it was July when we got here, and then they were having a little bit of warmer weather, but that we had just left Texas, which was 115. 115 at 8 o'clock at night. It was awful. It was absolutely awful. And that was a real hot one. It normally isn't that way, but oh my gosh. And then people here are just like, oh my gosh, it's 72. And I don't know. And I'm like, perspective.
And obviously you have more humidity, right? Because you're near the ocean and stuff. Where I live, it's more dry.
Oh, dry, cold.
Dry cold and dry heat. So our humidity is lower, which I appreciate. Yeah.
Well, I'm on an island, so yeah, I'm stuck on. I got humidity all around me. It's just gonna happen.
At least it's a lot better than where you came. Where you came from, like as far as the heat and the coolness. So,
yeah. Oh, okay. I know what I was going to ask you. Okay, so having been down in the lower 40 for a little bit, and then going back up and being there, something that I'm learning about the various places that I've lived in is that the energy is different, and that's like a no-brainer, right? It's a no-brainer. But I feel like when it comes to spell work, there are certain things that definitely work for me and then don't, and something about location to fit with your practice. And do you feel that if you had to move to some place like, I don't know, Colorado, do you think your magic would be the same?
Well, it depends on what kind of lakes and rivers they got. I'm really loving the lakes and rivers. That's where I go to connect. And well, Colorado. Let's see. When was I there?
You can ride the Colorado River all the way down to Mexico.
That's something. Oh yeah. So I don't know. I think it would be different.
Mm-hmm.
They have different. It would have different environment, like different trees, different plants and animals, and than we do have up here. A lot of the same, but a lot of different ones. And I would say it would change a little bit.
It would change a little bit.
I'd still be Nansen.
I being here is totally different. So stuff that I had to do on the regular in Texas, I don't have to do here as much, or hardly at all, actually. Like, well, it's just different energy. It's like the land is more at peace. I don't know how to explain that any other way than that. And I would imagine that in Alaska, the last frontier, you've got less people trampling on things and, giving, you're leaving yucky energy behind and things like that. So you've got more of a, I don't know, an innocence to the land, I feel. And I was actually supposed to go to Alaska next month, but my cruise was canceled. So I will have to do that in 2022. I'm like, dang it. But I wanted to experience that. And I'm sure that with your guys' wildlife and then just I can't seem to articulate it other than like the innocence of what maybe the purity of your land. The purity of your land has got to be really
wild. Very just driving from Fairbanks through the Matsu Valley and down to Wasilla and Girdwood. There is a big energy shift. I would say it's just it's where I am is a lot calmer. When I start getting out that way, like Gerwood, just it's thick. The energy is just crazy. Maybe it's just different for me, but I could really feel it. And I don't know if it has to do with have you heard of the Alaska Triangle?
Yes. In fact, I have it saved on my Hulu right now to watch this show called the Alaskan Triangle. I've heard about it. So it's very similar to like the Bermuda Triangle, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, it's like it's just pulling me all different areas. Like I was going to this one specific place. I'm like, but I want to go over here. I want to go. I was pulling me this way. And what's crazy is I swear my husband laughs at me because I was supposed to, when we got up, we were supposed to drive back to Fairbanks. I don't know what was going on, but I drove to Seward. Like I went the different direction.
What? Okay, tell me this story.
Why?
Tell me this story.
I don't know why. When I realized that I was going a different direction, I was like, I'm just gonna keep going. It's like I'm just gonna keep going.
Just to see where it would
I haven't been here before. I'm just gonna keep going. And everybody fell asleep. And I was like,
oh boy.
Well, they don't know. Like they don't know. We're just gonna go wherever I want to go. And I drove to Seward. Went to the end of the road. I could not go any further. Turned around and drove back and drove out of there. And right when I was leaving the town, everybody woke up. They're like, what are you doing? Where did we go?
Oh my goodness.
I
Oh
don't
my
know. I
goodness.
cannot explain why. I just kept going. I just kept going. So that's interesting. As I said, it just pulled me there. So I'm going to have to go visit there and stay there for a bit and see what it's all about, because, I mean, we were on a time. We came back really late.
Oh wow. I have heard this happening. Oh gosh, one of my friends in Texas was driving and they like felt like they went through like a time loop. Like, and they just kept driving and they're like get to the other side and they're like, how is it, 2 hours later when we only went 15 minutes, as far as what they were thinking. And so I've heard of this happening. And then I know that, oh gosh, there's a lot of people that say there's a lot of alien type stuff that happens, not only here on these islands in the Pacific Northwest, in the Puget Sound, there's a lot of alien sightings. And I understand that's another thing that happens up in Alaska big time. So I don't know if that has to do with the triangle or not. I don't know. Where is Aiden? Aiden! We didn't talk about this in our paranormal investigations. For sure.
I would imagine so. The only weird thing I've ever experienced, which I couldn't explain, was I was driving home really late from work, and I was going over a bridge, and I looked up, and I saw what I thought was a shooting star, and it was going down, and then right before it looked like it was going to disappear, took a 90-degree angle.
Whoa!
And I was like, what the hell was that? It was crazy, because that was like the first and only experience I ever had with anything like that I cannot explain in the sky. It was really cool.
Wow.
So like a meteor went, or like it looked like a shooting star, but then it went a 90-degree angle, going the same speed. So I don't know if that's possible. If, who knows? Could have been that. Could have been something else.
Could have been something else. So now I'm going to ask you, do you believe in Bigfoot?
Bigfoot. I've heard of, what part of Alaska is it? If you watch the documentary, the Alaska Triangle, if you watch that documentary, are you talking about that one? I forgot what they call him though.
Like kind of like a Yeti-ish.
Green Man.
I don't know. What did they call him? Green Man? No, that's something else.
I don't really rule anything out. But I've had no experiences myself, so I can't really say I don't believe in things when I have no proof.
Did they call it a Sasquatch? Whispers of Three is saying.
I don't know if it was a Sasquatch. I swear it was like some kind of like, maybe, I don't want to say hairy man, but
I know a few of them.
Oh, man. Well, it could be anybody. Oh, it definitely winds the wind.
A Yeti? Emily says Yeti?
Yeti? Maybe.
I know that's what they call them up in the Himalayas, for sure. I don't know. There's this big theory that Bigfoot is really alien as well. And then I don't know if you watched or caught the live with Aiden. We were talking about Hellier, and there's all these cave systems that's connected in all of that stuff. And the little green men that has to do with the Mothmen, that also has to do with, Bigfoot, which all is like super connected in this mammoth cave system, which runs all great vast majority of the United States. And we're like, what? And then, so then I was watching something on Bigfoot, and then they kept finding that it was leading back to these caves, which ended up being the same cave system. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like, wow, too much. But I don't know. Bear had an experience here about a year ago, looking at some property not too far from my house, and Snow was just in the chat, and I took her to some woods, and it's like super silent. Like there's not a bird chirping, there's nothing. You can't hear a rustling of a squirrel, you hear nothing. It just feels like you're not invited and that you need to leave. It really feels like that. And so like you leave. But when Bear was looking at some property, he had actually heard wood knocking, and then he felt like he started to have a headache, and then he felt like he just needed to go. And that's something that we're like, wait a minute. And then I look on Google Maps, and I'm like, okay, those woods are connected to these woods, which are connected to these woods, which would lead right up to our neighborhood. And I'm like, ee! I'm like, ee! Ow! Oh gosh.
Oh man.
I know, right? I know. I get chills when I do that. Oh, okay. Jennifer Knighton says, I need to check out Skinwalker Ranch. My husband was watching that and telling me about it. I will actually. That is in my list.
Familiar.
It's either on Amazon or is it on Hulu? One of those two is where I can find it. But I do have it. Those are the three: the Netflix, the Hulu, and the Amazon. Since I'm already a Prime member, I might as well watch these shows. So yes. They're all coming to you soon when Aiden and I get our stuff together. We figure out whatever it is we're going to be talking about. Okay. Are you open to any questions? We're coming to that time.
Oh. Yes. Sure.
Okay. All right, you guys. If you have questions for this beautiful Alaska, belly dancing witch, then please put them in the chat in bold, and I'll bring them up. I'll bring them up on the screen. See, have you had any weird run-ins with wildlife? I mean, you're like,
oh, I've had some. I've hit a moose before.
A moose.
And I almost hit one just a few days ago. Actually, my son saw it, and we were driving, and my son saw it. He's like, "Hey!" And I looked over, and like, it crashed right in front of us. I almost hit its ass.
Oh my gosh!
Almost hit its ass.
Oh my goodness!
My car handled great, and we got around it. Moose wasn't hurt, and we were okay. But I did hit a moose back in 2010 because my son was only 6 months old. And luckily, he was facing backwards still.
Okay.
Because where I live, before they cut the trees away from the road, the trees were all the way up to the road. And so I was driving, and the moose comes running out of the woods. I hit its head.
Oh my.
Smashed my side window. Glass goes flying back. My son's okay. My son was okay. But, I pulled over. Had to call Fish and Game. Let them know that a moose was... Because the moose got up and just stumbled off, but I wasn't sure if it was okay. And so you have to call on those things and make sure that... Oh, you guys...
Got a question.
You may have covered this.
I think you came in late, but we did talk about this at the beginning. Do you want to repeat?
Oh. So when I was learning my belly mama, they call her, belly mama, basically you're a teacher when you first learn belly dance, you call them your belly mama or
belly mama.
she talked to me about energy, about that a ball of energy, imagining bringing that up through the balls of your feet and working it through your body. And so that was basically my first connection to connecting dance with not only our own energy, but like energy of the earth, energy of all the different elements, and bringing that in. And so the nice thing, sorry. When I start teaching belly dance, I talk about having a strong base, like a root system, like a tree, like a big oak. You know, you have nice, strong roots, but as a tree, you're also very flexible. So you want to keep your knees soft, nice long back, chest lifted. And a lot of people think, I've heard of imagining you have a string attached to the top of your head or the crown, pulling you straight up, keeping your chin up. And then with the arms, I think of branches and that energy going out all the way out through the tips of your fingers. So you have energy flowing throughout your whole body. And then taking that energy and moving it throughout your body.
And then down.
You can roll it down. Now it's in your hips. Ooh. You bring it down further, back to the ground. You can draw it back up. And so that's when I shimmy for like ritual, I'm imagining my roots going out into the earth. And you know how when you have trees and their roots connect, they twine. I see my roots connecting with the ground, with the other trees, with Mother Nature, and drawing that energy up and bringing that energy down, connecting with energy from above.
Nice.
There's a lot of different things you can do. It's just like a big energy flow. Like you can use that to raise energy. You can use it to release negative energy, negative tension. Yeah. And then with dance and movement, you can extend that energy into a prop. As let's say in ritual and magic and stuff, a lot of people use wands or athames as an extension of your magic, extension of yourself. Well, same with a prop. Whether it's zills or a sword or a veil or fan veils, it's an extension and a representation of like an element. Like, for instance, if I was thinking of water, maybe I would get my fan veils out. I don't know if you've ever seen fan veils.
I wish I had. I'm a fan of the fan veil. Yes, I've seen them before. Yeah. They go like this, and they have the fan, and then they go this little.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it looks like water.
Yes.
It looks like water or air. Yeah, when we're talking about working with a veil, we're always talking about let that veil catch air. So it's different ways of representation and connection with the elements.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
That's really beautiful. That's really beautiful. I have another dancer, witchy friend, that uses their dance as kind of like an offering to their god and goddess. That is something that they do, which, I mean, I'm not sure that my god or goddess would want me to do any of that business. That's not something
No. No, I hear this. It doesn't work on me.
I don't know what I I
Everyone
love
can do
rhythm, but I don't know if I can like
Everyone can
dance.
see.
Like choreography type dance. I can't say that. Choreographed dance is difficult for me. There's something that happens to my lip. I start to go. I don't like I don't know what happens to
Here's a
my face
trick. Take a deep breath in. Martini. Martini.
I don't know if you know or if you got to see, but my friend Tessa here on the island is also she's in charge of the shimmy flash mob. So she is teaching belly dance and doing that. And then Christine, my other friend, does Zumba and is like all with the dance. She's gotten me to like 2 to 3 things, and then she's just like, "Girl, you need to have a couple of drinks before you go." Like, what am I doing? It does not.
Drinks, you said?
Which one?
A couple of drinks?
Yeah, she told me I needed to have a couple of, like down a couple of drinks before I came because I was like too rigid.
Oh.
Yeah. And I was just
Yeah,
like,
that'll loosen you up.
I like to dance when I'm by myself and I get all, like funky, but then when there are people watching, I'm just like, hey, you saw nothing. You saw nothing. It was just for me. I'm a private.
That's another thing. I gotta admit, I do take their energy and I use it. Audience, when I have an audience, I take their energy and I use it.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'd rather I draw it in and also that nervous energy.
Mm-hmm.
Use it. Use it. Don't let it defeat you. Take it, manifest it, mold it.
Like I used to be in the theater and on TV, and I used to be a singer in a band. I have no problems with any of those things. I mean,
Is that being heard? Are you opposite of me? Being heard?
I want to be heard all the time. I want to be heard.
I don't want to be seen.
But I don't really want to be seen. I think that's what it is. I don't think I really want to be seen. Truly. I want to be heard and I want to be respected, but I'm not sure I really want to be like seen. I think we're the opposites.
Ooh.
Yeah. What do you want to say? I'll project it out like a horn.
Well, I want to say this is definitely you're so easy to talk to. So I feel a lot better.
Oh,
it's just an initial like thing to get over.
Well, good.
Yeah.
I like to talk to people. I like to talk to nice people like you. I like to talk to now mean people, not so much. Not so much. I will just be like, nope, you're not worth my energy today, and I'll go the other way. Oh, okay. Ooh, here's one. Here's good for you.
Okay.
Here's another one for you.
You got another question.
Oh, Draven says you're the energy alchemist.
Ooh, I like that.
Really nice way of putting that, Draven.
I love it.
Energy alchemist. I like that. That's sassy. Okay. I know. I make lots of. See, if I don't find words, I just there's sound effects. No, it's a thing. It's a thing. Okay, I'm trying to see if I've missed anything here. 7 here in Alaska. Oh, so Sarah Emily is also in Alaska. I don't know if you know her. Let's see. And then Snow went to sleep. Good night, Snow.
That's my BFF.
Oh, is that your BFF? Oh, that's so sweet. I love it when BFFs show up in the chat. That's so lovely. It makes me happy. When Chris Ashburn was on, there was pretty much her entire Discord in the chat. I'm like, who are these? I've never seen these people before. I'm like, they're all show up to be supportive. It's so cute. I love it. Okay, one final question. Has there been something that was tough, but you overcame it? I know, big question. Big question. Is there something tough that you went through, but you overcame it? Something that
Mm.
maybe people are going through now that you want to share your strength? Just thinking
Oh.
hard.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of stuff I'm working on. I wouldn't say I've completely overcame it. But, you know, little steps like today, I have overcome getting on here and talking with you.
What I was trying to get you to say.
I did not take I did not take those what were they, delays, you know, because we were like, oh, let's reschedule. Oh, let's reschedule. I did not take advantage of those and say, hey, you know, running. So that's really big for me. So yeah, I would say I overcame it today, and
You
I will
sure
do
did. You
and
sure
I'll
did.
keep doing it. Just
Good
keep getting
deal. Good deal. I think you've done wonderful. And I know that you know, that was one of the things when we first came on before we went live, we were like, oh, I don't really want to talk. But you're doing so well. You're doing so well. There are people like me that do like to shout from the rooftops. We're pretty comfortable talking to pretty much anybody, but it doesn't mean necessarily that you, as a more reserved person, doesn't have something important to say. So I'm glad that you've started your YouTube channel. And as soon as I saw it, then I was just like, oh my gosh, she has a YouTube channel. And I was like so jazzed about it. But I know that you've been an entry for many of my contests. And I think you're the one that
Yeah.
sent me the black cat, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I have her right here.
Black cat battles.
This little kitty right here. And I've got a little butterfly on her. Well, the kitty was like sniffing the butterfly up there. But yeah, I got her right here. That was so cool and inventive how you sent your answers to those questions. That was so neat. And then, gosh, and then the last lip sync, you were the winner, I believe, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I forget what song it was. It was like a song from the 30s.
It was so cool, though. That was amazing. And that was actually right before the witchy cruise, because we were all watching those videos before we jumped on the thing. And before the ship had sailed, we're trying to give the announcements to everybody. And just everybody's running around trying to find their room. It was pretty awesome. But the way you captured that it was stunning. That was just stunning. That was artwork, what you did. It was
thank you.
Amazing. It was really cool. It was different than anybody else. It really was.
Hey.
It was pretty incredible. Oh, we got another question. Here we go. Jennifer.
Oh. Oh, belly dancing. Oh man. Well, right now, because of COVID,
dang COVID.
Yeah, dang COVID. Well, there's some plus sides, because I noticed there is a lot of dance teachers who are taking their class online.
Yeah,
they're teaching online. So, as far as beginners, I know that if you look up Susanna Dance, I'm gonna name drop Susanna Dance because I know her. I know Susanna, and there's actually right now, as far as beginning levels, that's the only one I can think of right now. But there are so many on YouTube. A lot of free classes, a lot of free tutorials. I know Sadie is Sadie Marquette. I can't give you the spelling top of my head, but she is a world-renowned Middle Eastern dancer, and it depends on what kind of style you're into too. There's like so many different styles.
Really? I
Yeah.
wouldn't have thought that, but I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, there's like cabaret, which is really, you know, blingy and flashy, which is a lot of what I do. But I've also done like tribal fusion, which is more, I would call it like snake-like. There's a lot more like pops and locks, and the music is a lot different. Yeah, and then there's American tribal, which is the big 25-yard skirts. They got flowers in their hair.
The ones that I see at Renaissance Festival.
Yeah. They have like the big like tassels on the skirt.
Yes, they're so cool, those tassels.
They're always playing zills, and like they always have a leader, and they like cue certain turns and moves, and that is generally not choreographed. That's usually never choreographed, so it's always cued. Yeah, so there's different styles. I know Deter Online is great. And you can get from like meditation, yoga. You can learn from like Zoe Jakes, I do believe is on Datura. She's tribal. Rachel Bryce. And then you also have your other styles like cabaret and stuff like that. So there's a lot of places. So
that's really interesting. Okay, so my next guest that's coming up is my friend Meredith, who is a burlesque dancer, but she started off doing belly dance, and now I have to remember what day she is actually on. Okay, yeah, so she's next. So Saturday, I'll be talking with her, and I'm going to ask her pretty much the same question: what had happened with you know, like the transition from belly dance to burlesque. And I think she still does belly dance as well. So I think it depends on her mood. So what she's doing.
I've done like a burlesque belly dance choreography before. So you can't, it's very easy to blend those. Very easy.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
I did the Sanders sisters too. We were the Sanders sisters.
Not the Sanderson sisters. I know the Sanderson sisters.
Sorry. You know the song "Sisters," but in White Christmas.
Yeah. Yes. Sisters.
We did that one. That was fun. That was fun.
That is a good movie. I rewatched that this last season just because, you know, I try to take some of the old movies from the past and sort of like, you know, throw them in there so that my kids can kind of, I don't know, get their teeth on it. You know, sometimes, well, most times a lot of that is forgotten. And I think it's good to, you know, rewatch those things and bring them to light, and so that the new generation can kind of experience them and be like, wow, like I miss the way the women used to glow in the movies. You know, they had that special lighting and the way they did their hair, you know, and it's just like, I don't know what lights they were putting on them, but it was so beautiful. It was, they don't do that anymore, you know. Now everybody's just like, whatever.
Yeah, I watch a lot of TCM.
Yeah.
And yeah. Gotta introduce the next generation to that too, you know. Gotta know where you come from to know where you're going.
Exactly. Sure.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Say, I love White Christmas.
Wait, how long have we been on here?
We have just done an hour, so I was gonna start to wrap it up. So tell them where. First of all, I'm gonna hunt down your YouTube channel and put your link in the description box of this video so that people can find you, and then tell them where else they can find you and what you're doing and your next steps, and then we're out, and then you've made it, then you're done.
All right. Well, you know, I don't, other than YouTube, I'm on Facebook, but I'm actually, I will announce it on my YouTube channel if I do start a business channel on Facebook, as far as dance wise. But I am going to be starting up restarting up my Shimmy Witch series. So I'm going to start from the very beginning,
Okay.
from posture, and I'm actually going to incorporate some of the stuff I talked about today, and not just technique.
No, I love it.
Moving in with
I love
it. Yeah.
It's a really good, yes, you're talking about connecting with all the elements, but I mean, it's a really good grounding. It's a really, really good grounding exercise, what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. 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 Oh, for sure. For sure. It's a great way to ground.
So good. So
I do every time. Oh, and then I incorporate stones, I guess.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Stones. Actually, one day I would love to have a stone brawn belt set. I know it'd be heavy, but it'd be worth it.
And you need to get in touch with Tessa, because Tessa makes her own stuff. So she has one. In fact, I've been in her little studio when we were talking before she came and she was the first Truth Talk. Boy,
yep.
That was January and I'm in March. I'm like, wow. Yeah, she's like hand stitching stuff on her belts and bras and all this. Like, she's got all these mannequins up in her studio. Like, you need to get in touch with Tessa, because she will work stuff. So if there's things that you need fixed or adapted, I think you can send things to her and she will do it. Like, just really cool. Yeah, just really, really cool. She makes all different kinds of costumes. Before the COVID here on the island, if there was any reason, an inkling to dress up, then Tessa and her dog Henry were dressed up as something. And then usually my husband, the pirate, running around. So it's just like those two are always in the papers, because you know that somebody's going to get a good picture of somebody. Is a good deal. That's a good deal.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, that's great.
Yes, everybody's like, yes, Shimmy Witch series, go for it. Woo, woo.
Woo, woo.
You're doing good things. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That means the world coming from you.
Oh,
that really does.
Oh, well, I do. I think very highly of you, and I think you're a lovely, lovely individual, and I can't wait to actually hug you in person when the stupid COVID is over. We will have another meet and greet. And I don't know, somebody was asking if, I think it was in the last chat, we were talking about Practical Magic, because that's the island that I live on, is the island in which Practical Magic was filmed on. So Coopville is only 40 minutes, 35, 40 minutes up the road, and they replay a bunch of stuff and show the movie in the town hall and do all different kinds of stuff. It's kind of amazing. So that's the thing. We should maybe.
I would love to go there. That would be so awesome.
It's a really teeny tiny town. It's really only 3 streets, 3 little streets.
I remember seeing your video of that. You did record a little bit of it.
Yeah, but they have this great beautiful park where we could have like a potluck or barbecue or picnic type thing, which is picnic, and then go into town all dressed up. We storm the town as witches. Yeah. I love it.
Linked arms.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, I will let you go because you did an amazing job. So congratulations, gold star for you. Very well done. And if you are looking for Miss Honey Owlet Moon, you can find her in the link that I will be putting after this loads. I will put a link to her YouTube channel. You can find her there. Please check out the Shimmy Witch. Is it Shimmy Witch? Yes, Shimmy Witch series. It is very, very educational. And I was in here doing some stuff, and I remembered her talking about the string and the thing with the chin and the deal. You got to put your boobs out.
Shoulders rolled back and down like you're putting your shoulder blades in your back pocket.
That's right. You got to do those things. You can also make a chicken.
Don't let them flat
up. Well, I will love and leave you guys. We will be back for Truth Talk with Meredith Monarch M. the epidemiologist by day and the burlesque dancer by night. And that is coming up next Saturday. And then we have got a whole list of people that I have been scheduling hot and heavy. Crimson Fire just confirmed today. Tequila, Lady Grave Dancer, also confirmed today. We are putting down some big people here in April because March is already full. So that's the thing. So with that, I love and leave you. Many blessings to you all. Thank you so much, Honey Owlet Moon, for coming on. And you guys can now go to sleep. Have a good one. You stay there, Honey Owlet.
Okay.